250 range.
Wow.
And I emailed that out, and you were on that email.
I see it.
Pictures. I heard back from Earl, and he's kind of like still prefer how to have Dragon, but we'll get everyone's opinion on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hi, Jason.
Oh. You guys hear me all right?
Hi, Daryl.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
So we'll just kind of wait for some more people to get on. I'm going to kind of finish this draft while we're waiting.
Sally, have you had any feedback from artists about how long it might take them to do their work to come up with a few designs?
Yeah, Jason, I have. So it's kind of the 6 to 8 week window.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually just looking at the calendar to correspond with the next art meeting. So at 7 weeks, it lands like June 23rd when I would get them, and that gives them about a little over 7 weeks.
Maybe give them to right after July 4th or whatever, you know, and that way.
Yeah, it's July 23rd. So it's a little over 7 weeks. He said, I talked to John Fleming, and he said that there have been organizations that give you 4 weeks. And he said no one dropped out because of that. And that's quite short, but he said it didn't scare anyone away. Everyone did it in that time frame. But I think 7 weeks personally is a nice amount because we have that 4th of July weekend. And depending on the scope of work right now, I'll read through it, but it says to do some research with the community and some engagement with the community to get an idea. And certainly we want them to get into the History Museum. In fact, I've got to add that to the letter.
Great. Yeah, I would think that would probably work. Kind of respond back to us maybe after July 4th, a week after July 4th, perhaps.
Well, July 23rd is, it's that third week.
July 23rd?
I'm sorry, June 20th. Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry. July so 4th. I was looking at having it do June 23rd, and then we would do the interviews. I was thinking we'd give them each the full hour, 5 to 6 o'clock. Their 2 designs and have Q&A. And that would be the 28th, 29th, and 30th of June. And then that would give us, and then we could report to the Arts Commission, the 5th, and to City Council. Right after. Then we would be able, at that point, we get to give our recommendation to City Council.
Yeah, and get a contract and let them go to town at that point.
Yeah, so we have to enter immediately. I'll send the approval letter, and then we have to enter immediately and create an FBO for the $1,500. And then when they present and turn it in on the 23rd, they will be paid at that time.
Got it.
The $1,500. And so let's just go through it because it's 5:06 and I don't know who else is coming. But if you want to, I'll just kind of
a few more.
Go through. So I'll just go through the scope of work and you can tell me what you think. Can I just share my screen?
Sure.
Maybe that's easier. Thank you. So scope of work. Can you see that okay? So we're looking at community engagement and research that influences the concept. Visit to the Lakewood Historical Society, right?
Historical Society and History Museum.
And who's the contact there right now, Daryl, that I would get a hold of to line that up?
Wow, you caught me off guard here.
Is it Sue?
Sue Scott, thanks.
Yeah.
Is she still involved?
As far as I know, yes. Yeah, I stepped down about a year ago, about this time.
Okay. And then two design concepts, artwork location description, materials under considered, general fabrication methods, possible protective finishes, possible installation methods, and imagery. So that is what I have for the scope of work. Now, this is kind of like
We need to, on that,
part from City of Tacoma.
yeah, let's back up just a little bit.
Mhm.
So the artwork location description, I think you need to attach a copy of the diagram you sent to us that has the locations, because it's off limits on any of the bricks. We learned that from the engineering department, right? Because we can't
Right, thank you.
penetrate. Yeah. And make sure your drawing updates the locations to include the original 2 gateway locations when you point to those locations.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Do you know if Patty's on the call?
If
She's
she's
not.
not, I can,
Let me send an email out to the Public Art Committee just saying
Yeah.
the meeting is on.
I can be a proxy for her, because she and I have had lots of conversations.
Is the Zoom link I have, Nikki, the one that they can use?
They should be able to, but I'll send it to you from the calendar.
Oh, I just grabbed it off my calendar.
That should work then.
Okay. Okay, so include map.
Hey, Lonnie.
Hi, Lonnie.
Hi there, sorry.
You're fine. No, you're fine.
I'm here with my driver. You know how that is, Jason, all right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, well, we know he's gonna be famous if that's your, is it Magnificent Magnus?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Yeah, this is my younger one, Maddox. Yep,
Right.
we're on our way home, so sorry for the moving background, or I'll turn my screen off. Or
Oh, you're
is it
fine.
just,
No, you're fine.
is it just the 3 of us at the moment?
Let's see. Ariani and you and Daryl and me and
Oh, good. Well, hello, team. I can't see everybody, so
Yeah.
there you go. Yep, great.
surprised Earl's not
So
on
we're
here,
just
but, yeah.
going through the design
Mhm.
proposal for the $1,500 stipend. And so I didn't know if I should include that community engagement and research that influences the concept, but it seems like now's the time to do that. It doesn't have to be the most extensive thing, but whatever they consider.
Yeah,
You know,
I think it's kind of,
if these are their 2 designs, they're going to have to do
Right.
that.
they already know the themes that we threw out from the first iteration, right, of the RFP.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anyway, so art location, and then I'll put the attached map.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
And then
I
I would
was-
put in there artwork location, materials under consideration, installation methods, maybe describe use of lighting.
okay.
use or incorporation of lighting.
I would maybe suggest in parentheses with that, like if proposed. Just because I'm forgetting his first name now, the
Peter.
the artist who proposed the bench, for example.
Oh, John.
Yeah, so that didn't have lighting per se in his,
Right.
I hope I'm articulating this right. Because if you put in just, if you don't say if proposed,
Mhm.
then people are gonna get you may not have to have a piece that requires lighting.
Right.
So I'm not sure how to phrase that.
Yeah, no, that's good. And then I just added, please submit a draft budget that separates out the artwork cost from the installation and engineering costs.
So why is that material? If we give them a budget, and as long as they realize they got to cover it all.
Because it was requested by the city manager. Now, I don't know if that's because you had mentioned in your that in your meeting that it was going to cover, the additional budget would cover installation. Do you think that's
Yes.
fine?
Yeah. So what?
It just can't hurt. And then it'll give us as a committee a really good idea of, hey,
Yeah,
what does artwork
that's fine.
cost? What does the rest cost? And then Lonnie, I was looking at, it's about a 7-week timeline. So 2 design proposals will be due June 23rd. And then the artist will present to the art committee on the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Each artist will have 1 hour.
I can't figure out how to make my phone work. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay.
And you know, my only worry with this is now we're getting into the week before the 4th of July. So I just don't know if a lot of people on this committee are going to be gone. I guess that's worth discussing.
Well, we can always
well,
hear by Zoom. Yeah.
But you know, when the time comes, we can always manipulate that a little bit.
Yeah.
But Lonnie, the bottom line is that leads right into our July 5th Arts Commission meeting, where we can say, hey, at this point we would have deliberated and we'll decide at that meeting of the 3 who's the finalists that we want to recommend to city council.
Okay.
Is the 5th going to be considered a holiday after the 4th, a city holiday or not? Do you know?
The 5th won't.
Okay, got it.
I don't think, Jason, I don't know.
You know what? I don't.
We'll move it to
we
the
just-
12th.
So
And
I
maybe we just want to move it to the 12th anyway.
have a quick question, I think, which is what I don't have a sense for is 7 weeks turnaround for a RFP like this. Is that a standard turnaround time for artists, or
So
are we making it fast because of our schedule?
No, I called John Fleming, and some people require 4 weeks apparently.
Okay. Okay.
So to me, 7 to 8 weeks seems reasonable.
Yeah. Okay.
This part that's highlighted, I'm not going to include, but I just wanted you to know that this is a best practice that the art selection and review panel, which is all of you, provide feedback to the artist on the preliminary design proposal once they're chosen. And then they further develop that after, Okay, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, so let's go back up. It looks like this is all we're going to get now. Susan said that she can't make it, but she gave me some feedback that I'll add a little bit later. But Jason, the big thing we want to talk about here is the budget,
Okay.
and how that fits in with the design proposals. And I'll just kind of brief where we left off at the Arts Commission meeting was that that time the budget was maybe 90,000, maybe 150, and that they'd submit a design proposal for each one. So I wanted to really flesh that out and talk about, do we want to do that? I have some strong opinions about it. Susan does, and I can tell you what those are, but
Well,
I
let's
think we should
confirm-
probably start with what
Yeah.
the budget is going to be. And
Well,
maybe
yeah,
you can speak to that, Jason.
Well, we had the conversation at council. How did it get articulated back to you from the manager? What did he say?
It got articulated that the city council will consider an increase in the budget. Not that they had approved it, but that it would be considered needed.
Well, yeah, they gave the manager authority to go up to 150, but that would be all in, including installation, permits, engineering costs, etc.
So, yeah, so what I understand is we can go ahead and say that it's increased to X amount. And I was thinking, but he didn't say that the city council voted and approved $150,000
No,
budget.
we didn't have a vote. We had to have
Yeah.
a conversation to give direction to the manager for
Mhm.
directing staff as to what we would do. We don't vote until we get something proposed to us. So it wasn't an action item, but it was direction to the manager to
Mhm.
increase the
So
budget.
my understanding is that we can say, okay, it's increased to a level up to 150. And I think we want to pick that level. And my thought is we want to give a little buffer just because of what we experienced last time around, that maybe we want to give a $10,000 buffer if we know we can get up to 150. Do we want to do 135 or 140? We still have to pay, you know, the stipend. So that's roughly 5,000. So,
Yeah.
you know, my thought is, do we come in at 135? Because
What was Susan's thought about
Expected
it?
it might
Not to
come
do, her thought was not to do a small design, big design. It was to give one budget.
so yeah, okay, let's say we go to 140. Yeah, it's Susan was like, why would you want to ask for design at 90,000? Because anything's going to be underwhelming at that amount compared to anything that comes in at 140.
Got it. Okay.
So if the budget's 140, it's 140.
Mhm.
Designs at 140. I definitely feel the same way. It's kind of
Okay.
like,
Well, and you're also asking them to do twice as much work for the same stipend.
Right. Well, you kind of
Mhm.
are anyway if they're doing two designs, but maybe, you know, I don't know. I'm not an artist, so.
but
I
if
was just the guy that fell on my
anything at-
sword to get us more money.
yeah, anything at 90,000 is going to be like, well, why would we go with that? when we
Right.
have this?
I agree with you on that. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So I think that would be okay. If you
On
wanted to
what
do
you think it
140.
should be. Let's back out 5,000 for sure for the
Uh-huh.
stipends. So we're at 145, and then do you want to have any buffer in there?
I would say it's probably 145, but that's kind of, you know, let them know that it's all in, that we expect them to, if any engineering is required, they have to contract for that, because it was very clear that we didn't want the city's engineering department to be giving engineering advice or work. So it would be a piece that would be submitted for permit approval with whatever engineering requirements that the city would have, along with their plans and drawings. So it really is kind of an all-in package from the artist to the city for the budgeted amount.
But the city engineers would still have to review what's being proposed, right? Does that-
Absolutely. They just
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
do
that
the
just-
engineering. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
that just
not doing-
falls under the, yeah, okay.
Yeah. They're not doing it freebie for the artist. We didn't think that
Right,
was
right.
appropriate. I think that should be nice because that gives them another 50,000 to work with and gives us a little buffer. I think that's okay.
About a $5,000 buffer, yeah. Okay, so if that looks good, that's kind of,
So Sally, this is just sort of a random thing, but a great word that you could use in that last bullet point is instead of separates out, which may make them think, I don't know, but you can do a breakdown, that there's a breakdown of installation and engineering and, you know.
Yeah.
If you want that word, that might be a good word. That's a pretty standard industry word.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Now, do I need to say anything that it can be the two design concepts can be two large pieces of art or
I
several?
would just say two concepts, you know, let them either, you know, I hate to put the word gateway style or interactive intimate, because I don't think we want to make it too loaded for their artistic minds. Let them kind of come up with concepts. They know what's out there, and they'll know the locations, because now we've kind of narrowed the potential sites. We've limited the sites a little bit, so. And just, I don't know if everybody heard that. Maybe you already discussed it last time, Sally, but we heard about, we can't really fiddle with the bricks because of the substrate and the, whatever they call the sealant with the polymeric sand that they don't want to mess with, so.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the voting. So I emailed out what Preston sent, and I don't know if you all had a chance to look at it, but that is what he sent, pictures of what he could do for 150,000. Earl was not any further convinced that he should be in the top three.
I was underwhelmed by what he sent out for 150.
Okay.
That's just me. I mean,
Agreement on that.
the bronze pieces were kind of cool looking, but the glass pieces, I didn't get a sense that those would be, I don't know, I think they'd get lost.
Mhm.
Unless it was something like that stainless steel with the internal glass, that lit sort of triangle piece that he had in Seattle, that might be kind of cool, but I don't know.
Any other thoughts from anybody?
I still stand with who my top three were, so.
Okay. And Patty voted through an email to me, had a Drugan, and I haven't heard anything since. So I think what I'm hearing is we have our top three: John Fleming, Peter Wackwam, and the head of Drugan, husband wife team. So with your permission, I will send this letter out to them. I'll fine tune it and CC you on it and congratulate them. And I'll also send out the letter to those that aren't moving on in the process. And I would like to let them know that we love their art, we'll keep them active.
Yeah.
2 years without them having to resubmit portfolios for any calls that we do.
I would just say, yeah, I would be hopeful and say we really are excited about the prospect of enhancing the community with additional art down the road, and we'd love to consider you for further projects.
Okay.
Yeah, well, because clearly they were in our top people to begin with, so. Yeah.
Hi, Susan.
Hello. Sorry, I'm late. I was like triple booked.
You're fine.
I'll put myself on mute.
No. You want your
No,
input.
I think we're actually at the tail end here, Susan. I'll let Jason fill you in.
Okay.
Oh, I think we were going around the question about Preston's latest iterations of what he could do for up to 150. 150 being his kind of cutoff, and I think the feedback was,
Okay, you can't. Yeah, you're too close. You got to back up.
those are
You got to
a
get.
little underwhelming for 150.
Yeah, yes, probably, Jason. I probably would agree. He's working, he's pulling in big, huge commissions with that 300 or 400,000 now. So
Right.
I think it
We're a
would
small
be,
fish.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, we're very important, but I don't think perhaps we can afford him at this stage.
Right, I agree.
Mhm.
And then you had a comment that probably makes more sense to just tell the artist that the budget's increased and then to, scale their designs appropriately as opposed to having a small one at 90 and quote unquote a larger one at 140 or 150. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. At this point.
Jason, I think my dog hears your dog's squeaky toy or whoever.
My- My dog is
Yeah,
crazy.
not mine. Yeah.
She's like, where is
It's
that
getting
coming?
louder and louder.
Well, I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are, but I think now we really have the capability of having something fairly significant that will hopefully be iconic for the space and will fit Lakewood and feel good for all of us and be something we're proud of.
So Susan, we increased the budget to 140.
Wonderful. I think that's
And,
really great.
and we're going to give a $1,500 stipend. And we're giving them about 7 weeks for their 2 design proposals. Now you may have feedback on that. I did call John Fleming. He said some people ask for 4 weeks and it doesn't turn anyone away. It's awfully quick. So we were going to give a little over 7 weeks. And these are kind of our design scope of work.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if that looks good to you or not.
Yeah, it looks great. And I think 7 weeks is really great. It's reasonable, it's generous. They should be able to come up with something in 7 weeks, and this looks wonderful.
What do you think about this first one, the community engagement and I mean, obviously they're going to research, but is community engagement realistic in 7 weeks? Or
Well, and how would they do
Yeah.
that?
I'm going to take that thing away from my dog. Excuse me.
I mean, the challenge with that a little bit, Sally, is how would they do that, right? Would they coordinate through you, and then who do you outreach to, right?
yeah, I kind of feel like we should just put research because that encompasses community reach.
I think so too, because otherwise engagement, it's like, how the heck are they going to do that? We're supposed to be the community flavor for them to engage with.
Yes. I think that's yes, yeah, that's reasonable. They can engage the community too during the actual process
Right.
of making the art as well.
And when we pick a finalist and they're fine tuning it, that's when they could do that if we want to give them the
Yes.
time to do that. And if it's close enough to what we want, because that does take a very long time. That's going to add several months.
Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
I agree.
So wonderful. And then we talked about including the piece about the pavers and the map of possible places. And then I added a visit to the Lakewood Historical Society and History Museum. Good. Well, I think everyone, I don't know about you, but I feel really good about this.
Good.
And I think the only other thing we talked about, other than including that bit about the pavers and not being able to put anything there with a footing, is visiting the Historical Society, which was closed.
Yeah.
They'd each get an hour to present their design concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be great.
So I'll CC you all so you can get these dates on your calendar. Again, it's going to be really important. If you can't make it, we'll find a substitute, but just give me plenty of notice. It is getting close to 4th of July, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Everyone's gonna have a staycation.
I'm just hopeful that this one will work after all the work we did on the first one that went nowhere. So,
I'm hoping that's a very, that's in a silo that wouldn't happen
yeah.
again.
I think part of that was budget, and that's why I was pushing so hard to increase the budget. I mean, she was telling us plainly that she felt she was unable to do it for 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was really great that you were able to do that, Jason. I think it's going to be very helpful.
I hope so.
I'm sure it will be.
I used up a little political capital the other night to make it happen. So
I'm sure. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that's all I had for tonight. We're just kind of really honing it down to the final three, making sure Preston wasn't in that final three, increasing the budget, and setting the parameters for the scope of work.
Right.
sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job. This
Look
sounds
forward to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'll be great.
Okay.
Well, anything else for the good of the order, Susan? How's the garden going? You have Mayfest coming up, don't you?
Yes, Mayfest this weekend, everybody, and sales are going great. It's very encouraging. You should come and see what we'll be doing. We have Rona Yellow Robe on Sunday, Mother's Day, playing her flute for the trees, a walking concert. You can come along behind her and listen to her and look at the trees. It's going to be fabulous.
Do you have limited numbers that can come in, or can anybody show up?
No, you have to get a ticket for it. And we are controlling the number of people in the gardens per hour.
Okay.
So it remains safe.
Mhm.
What's your maximum number per square foot?
For the garden,
Mhm.
it's about 100 an hour.
Okay.
So that keeps people really distant, It gives them lots of safe space around. And you should know this too, that we are engaged in this international project for endangered species.
Oh, wow.
And we have an artist recreating a prairie paintbrush. It's a yellow flower that's endangered from the prairies, and we're creating a giant one on Flag Lawn and filming it with a drone. And the BBC World picked us up because we're working with an English artist too.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, nice.
That's fantastic.
Very
I
cool.
know, 100 million.
I'll try to come over on Saturday for sure. Is
That's
it
a
all
big
Sunday or
hit.
Saturday?
It's just Saturday, and we're filming her making the paintbrush, and the radio BBC is going to use the audio and Rona playing, and they're going to interview us. So it's really cool.
That's fantastic. Congrats, Susan.
Wow, good job.
Yeah, so a serendipitous event.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah.
We just found out that at the Colonial Plaza, there's a formula, X number of people per square foot for this phase, and it's at 720 for this phase at Colonial Plaza, for phase 2 at Colonial Plaza.
Yeah, I know. I know that we
Or
have
phase 3, sorry.
formula too that we use for public gardens and acres and so forth. So there we are. But for safety, we're doing 100. Mm-hmm.
That should be great.
Yes. Wonderful. Well, come on over.
I will. I'm going to go online and sign up.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
You can also, for the mothers, you can also buy a dessert and mimosa kit. It's all safely packaged up.
Oh, what a cute idea.
Oh, that's so cool. Susan, just a reminder, use your sandwich board signs to promote.
I keep Yes, I know. I think we actually have sandwich boards. I don't know why they don't get out there.
I mean,
Thank
you have
Sally.
free advertising out there, and just to jog people's memory, we've got a gift shop. Come shop.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep plugging. I'm gonna keep bugging you on that.
I'm going to text a communications person right now.
That's your easy free advertising.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Sally. Ah.
You know what? You can submit to what's that show? North it's a morning show, New Day Northwest. You should submit to them what's happening Saturday. These news stations are looking for stories. It's a super easy, get your communications gal, super easy application. I've had them accept things and they'll get you on air.
Okay, I'll send that too. Thank you.
Yeah, great
Okay.
suggestion, Sally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I always figure that makes your life easy when you send them stories, right?
Yes.
Stories.
Uh,
Okay, well, thank you so much. I'll get these out right away.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl.
Thanks for the opportunity
Guys.
again, Sally. Jason, thank you.
yeah, thank you. This has been very fun. Really
Yeah.
enjoyable.
Well,
Appreciate your expertise.
appreciate it.
Susan.
Ariani, thank you for your input. It was really valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's great to
Okay.
have a student perspective.
Good night, all.
Yeah.